and welcome to the Rob Brydon Show. Tonight we have a musical feel on guitar, Seasick Steve. Playing the tambourine as only he can, comedian Daniel Sloss. And we welcome the king of the maracas, Stephen Fry. Good evening. Hello. Welcome along to the show. What a lovely look at this audience. Look. Oh, my word, it's like a beauty pageant. It's like a beauty... No, not everyone. It's a lovely look. There's a lady there giving me such a smile. Yes, I'm looking at you. The blonde-haired lady with the gaudy jewellery, yes. Now, what is your name?
Rosemary.
Rosemary. What do you do, Rosemary?
I'm a customer service specialist.
I'm guessing receptionist.
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, what would it be in English?
We make the customers happy, hopefully.
There's a lovely-looking boy in the front row. Look, it's such a confident man. He assumed it was him. Yeah. It could have been anybody. Look at you. Well, what's your name, sir?
My name is Graham.
Hello, Graham. How are you?
I'm not too bad, Rob.
The way you're sitting so confidently. That wide gait. Goodness me. And a young friend with you there.
This is my best mate, Oliver Stevens Offner.
All right, I didn't really need the full name. I'll be very honest.
He's also my best man at my naked wedding.
All right, now you're giving me... Sorry, what?
Best man at my naturist wedding. I actually got married naked.
I guess that's what a naked wedding would involve.
And all the guests were in the buff as well.
And you were the best man?
Yes, I was.
So where did you keep the ring? Goodness me. And how long have you been married?
Since last November.
Oh, OK. Any little ones on the way?
We have a little boy.
Oh, how old?
Called Star. He's 17 months old.
And he's called Star?
He's called Star.
Oh, he's going to hate you for that. Did you hold him up when he was born, like in The Lion King? Did you go like that?
I did, yeah.
Did you, naked, flapping about in the wind? Goodness me. I've got... My youngest child is 2 now, just turned 2. Tom. He's lovely. Does your little one have grandparents?
He does, yes.
Yeah, and the grandparents love the children, don't they?
They do.
Can't get enough. My kid's grandparents, they dote on him and they spoil him. Now, recently, because grandparents can get it wrong, recently they bought him a book called Dogger. Now, I know what you're thinking. No, it's not about that. Although you can get books about that. I say book, it's more of a map, really. But they gave him... She's just got it. They gave him this book called Dogger. It's about a little cuddly toy called Dogger. But it's kind of inappropriate. But his grandparents love him. And the grandparents have a mobile motorhome, like a mobile holiday home, OK? And it's called a Rapido, because it goes so fast. And little Tom loves it. He associates his grandparents with it. But he can't say the word properly. So whenever he sees his grandfather, he goes, Pedo! Well, now, you know, it was my own fault. I should never have sent my parents to pick him up from nursery. There was my dad carrying him off to the camper van, and he's shrieking, Dogger! Pedo! Dogger! Pedo! Right. Later on, I'll be meeting Seasick Steve. Hi, Steve. But first of all, you know, Britain has produced a lot of great Steves. Hawking, Gerard, Seagal. But here is my favourite, Steve Fry!
Thank you. Dear fellow.
Welcome, Mr. Bond.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Goodness me.
Nice.
That's That's a hell of a reaction, sir.
Well, they're very nice people, aren't they?
I was talking about all that kid stuff there. Now, you don't have kids, but you've got like a squillion godchildren, haven't you?
Yes, I've got a lot of godchildren.
How many have you got?
13, I think.
13?
Yeah, some nephews and so on. It was wonderful watching children grow up, especially if they're not your own. You can just hand them back. But buying presents is a nightmare because I lose track of what age they are. And so, you know, I'm getting them their first visit to a brothel when they're 5 instead of when they're 15. Obviously, that's what a godfather is supposed to do, I think.
Yes,
isn't it?
yes,
You take a nephew to... In you go, there you
Yes.
are. And you pay for them, and then you wait for them to come out 3 minutes later. And that's part of your job done as a godfather, I believe.
It's the decent thing to do.
I believe it is. To be honest, I think buying presents for children is one of the most pleasurable things you can do. It really is fabulous. I do this, or did rather, these Harry Potter books on audio.
Harry Potter?
Yeah, I know. Right. But it does mean... The other day, a man shouted at me right across the street in the middle of London, "My children go to bed with you!" Could you not please shout that out in the street? It just doesn't come over well. It was one of the oddest gigs, if one can call it that, because, you know, I've read books before for tape or CD, and now, of course, for MP3, and my agent called me up and said, "Oh, there's a children's book." And I had, like, a couple of days off the following week, and I said, "Well, that's fine, because a children's book is usually half a day, you know." And the rabbit was nice. It was a good rabbit. Night, everybody, and there's the story, you know, and that's, you know, take your money and
Can I ask
easy.
you just to carry on? I'd love to know what happens in the end.
But this book, this book was an adult-length book. You know, 80,000 words plus. And she came along to the recording, Jo Rowling, and was an incredibly nice woman, wonderful woman. Very excited that this book was doing quite well. No one had heard of it. It was the only book she'd written. I say no one. I mean, it had done jolly well for the publishers as a children's book. And I wasn't quite this patronising, but I was quite patronising because she said she'd written another one. She hoped I'd... "Have you done another one? Well done! Well done! Good for you!"
But with these godchildren and all the birthdays, it must be hard to remember them, or is it because you have... I charge you with this, sir.
There's an app for
You have
that.
an incredible memory.
No, I do have a... Yes, I suppose I do.
Where does this memory come from?
I don't know.
Can you remember?
It's a kind of mental stickiness. Things stick, and you can't... It's not an active process. I certainly don't have a mnemonic system, or I don't sit down and practice it. I can't explain it. As you will know, Hesiod said that memory was the mother of the muses.
That's what he said. Memory was the mother of the muses. Yeah.
Which is a wonderful thing. It's like a way of mythology saying that all the arts, which is what the muses are, all the arts spring from memory. And I think that's true. But the point is there's different kinds of memory. I'm not very good at remembering the dates of my own life, though. I've written this autobiography, and which has just come out, and I had to consult...
Oh, you did?
know, almanacs and things to remember, like, joined Blackadder in the second series, and I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
What? Nah, I couldn't. Thank you very much. I couldn't remember.
You slipped yours in then under the radar. How did you come up with... Where did that come from, that meh?
It's a complicated
I think
genesis.
I do it better than you, in all honesty.
It's really funny. There were two things about it, I don't know why. One was, it was private, but Rowan knew and Hugh knew that I said, you know, my character has terrible piles. And so Rowan used to just quiver, because when I sat down, I used to go, "Ah!" and just occasionally... But it came from this weird thing that I did with Hugh when we were at university, with Hugh Laurie, when we were at university. I had played Duncan in a production of Macbeth, and I'd found it stupidly funny to do a very old-style actor who would add syllables to words for no reason. "There's no art, oh." So the word isn't "there's no art." You just go, "There's no art, oh." Like that. And it would get longer and longer. "There's no art, oh." And one of the noises I would do would be a "meh, I want to say," or whatever, and like an old actor figure.
Yes.
And it just became a form of greeting between myself and Hugh to go "meh," like that.
I was going to mention Hugh Laurie because he features in the book. What happened to him? I mean, if ever someone went off the radar, it was him. For a while, he was the voice of the Andrex puppy and everything. And then, do you know what he's doing now?
It is odd that you should say that, because I know there's a twinge of irony in what you're saying, but it so happens that House is the most successful television programme in the world.
Is it? Seriously?
Yeah, the most watched television drama series in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you seen Cash in the Attic, Stephen?
But the point I'm making is, the country, one of the major countries in which it's least successful is Britain.
Seriously?
But if Hugh tried to walk down the street in Madrid or Rome, as occasionally he had been in Italy or Spain since things started, he needs armed protection. It's not a joke. He really, really does. In France, for example, House is watched by just about everybody. But in Britain, it isn't.
Maison. Oui? Stephen, oui?
That is a French word for house, yeah.
Doctor Maison. It is mysterious, no? Oh, limp. He makes that out in Hollywood. And, of course, you've appeared in many films, Stephen, one of which I have a slight bone to pick with you, because do you remember the Peter Sellers story, Life and Death of Peter Sellers?
I do.
In which you played the role of Maurice Woodruff, Peter Sellers' clairvoyant. Do you know who else auditioned for that part and didn't get it?
Oh, God, there must have been a long list of sado, hopeless, useless...
No, I went in, I did what I thought was a pretty good clairvoyant, waited by the phone, and no, darling, they've given it to Stephen Fry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So you know what I ended up doing in that film, and you may not know this? I played Dustin Hoffman in that film. Now, you may say, there is no Dustin Hoffman in that film. You're right, I got cut out. Frankly, I don't know why I've had you on this show. There was a little scene, it was in the script, where Sellers, when he was up for the Oscar for being there, and Hoffman won it for Kramer versus Kramer. And I had a wig on, and I had to stand there with the Oscar saying, I'm doing him now. I had to say, I don't believe I deserve this award. I think I'm not better than Peter Sellers, than Al Pacino. And that was... it's not a bad Dustin, is it?
It's a very fine Dustin.
And to make it worse, I remember one night on QI, you saying, I can't stay long. I'm going to have dinner with Dustin bloody Hoffman. Will you not be happy until I have a nervous breakdown? Do you do a Dustin?
Oh, God.
Oh.
No, sort of, but not a very good one. Not a very good one.
Oh.
Oh, God. You're trying to seduce me, Mrs. Roberts.
Stephen, you're a bit of you are what I would call a Twitter legend, sir. We have put the call out to the Twitter sphere for questions for you, so we got some tweeted questions later, and you, the audience, will get a chance to put your questions to Stephen as well. We'll meet Seasick Steve now, but first of all, please thank Stephen Fry.